Good morning, friends. Uh, Welcome to my channel. Uh, my channel name, if you haven't been here before, is Grandma Outdoors 56. And I am preparing to hike the Appalachian Trail in March of 2025. Very excited, very, very, very excited. I can't even tell you. But I'm trying to distract myself, so I am going to make some more dehydrated food. And I thought I'd show you how I make my pineapple fruit leather. So these are the ingredients. This is, let's get right to it, as a matter of fact. And this is the ingredients. I'm using frozen pineapple. I'm using no sugar applesauce. And I'm using wildflower honey. Now, most honeys are clover, but we do have a local honey supplier. It's Cutix. Shout out to Cutix. And they make different flavors. So I like the wildflower honey. So that's the one that we're going to use. And we're going to make some fruit leather in my Magic Mill dehydrator. So let's get right to it. So the first thing we have to do is we have to blend it all up. I use these dehydrator trays with a reusable film that we put on it. So we'll get to making this. Now this might be a little loud, and I'm sorry if it's a little loud, but that's the way it goes. And start off with the pineapple. We're going to put in a little over a pound. This is actually a 3-pound bag, but we're going to put in a little over a pound. I usually use, in my recipe I have a pound, but I like the pineapple flavor, so we're going to use about half this bag, and it usually fills it right up. So there you go. It's about half. I do often also make mixed berry, blueberry, and strawberry banana, but the pineapple seems to be the favorite. Although my grandson does like the berries. So then with the applesauce, we're going to use 2 cups of the applesauce. So, and I just use this little measuring cup. And nothing is really exact, because when you dry it out, it's all in what you like for flavor, really. If you wanted more honey, you could put more honey in. I make quite a bit of fruit leather. And I've done it different ways. Really, what the main thing is, I see in the times that I've made it, the main thing is the temperature and the time. Which again, I gotta pull this closer to me. So there's the 2 cups of applesauce. Now, try to get some of that down in there so that it starts to liquefy a little bit. And now for the honey. And there is 2 tablespoons of honey. That's what I like to use. This is actually a 2 tablespoon scoop. And I just pour honey. I don't use a honey scoop. And sometimes it goes a little over 2. And we'll do that. Wash my hand. I know you can't see the sink over here, but all right, now we'll use my little spatula and clean this out, because I'm not waiting for honey. All right, and that's really it for the ingredients. That's all I put in there. I'm going to move this out of the way. Now this, like I said, this can be a little loud, and I'm sorry for that. So you can see it is quite loud. And it's not really mixing because it's frozen. So we'll just take that off of there. I have a let me rinse that off. A little dust. So we'll take this top off and we'll just kind of push it down. There it goes, finally. Yeah, so just make sure it's nice and smooth. All right. So it's nice and thick. So we're going to turn that off and throw this in the we'll throw this lid in the sink. Top our things. So as you can see, I have plenty of ingredients to make another one. This usually does about 2. And sometimes, like you saw, it wasn't grinding a little, it was taking a little bit to grind. Sometimes if you smash down the frozen or let the frozen pineapple thaw a little bit, it doesn't, it's not as hard on your blender. I didn't do that, obviously. Or you could add a little more of the applesauce. But remember, the more liquid you add, the thinner your fruit leather will be. Now, I don't use a tray, so to speak. I use these. I put them in a paper towel holder. They come in a roll, and I just cut them to size of my metal racks that came with my magic mill. So I just cut these so that they fit on top like this. And then once you get it in there, they're going to go in here. But I put a little oil on these. Not oil necessarily. I use a little canola oil. And I just give it a spray like that. And then I use my hand and I just wipe a lot of it off. And I only do this only because it's much easier to peel off, especially if you over dry it. And then they become like pineapple chips, which is also a very good, very tasty. So we'll oil. I think I have enough for 3, maybe 4. And like I said, you don't want a huge amount of canola oil or whatever cooking spray you use, or Crisco or whatever. You don't want a whole lot of it. You just want enough so it comes off easier. The other good thing about these, as opposed to a hard tray, which I've used in the past, is that these, when you do go to get it off, because they're pliable, when you start to take it off, and I'll show you when we pull it out. It's going to be a few hours, so it'll be a separate video, but well, I'll blend it together. I'll edit it together so you'll see the end. But this is these are really good because they will come off very nicely. I'm gonna do the 4th one. I can always wash it, obviously. And if you spray too much spray on, I just use a paper towel if you feel like you've got too much on there. And I don't even know what to tell you as far as too much. I guess if it's too, I mean, they're all about the same. Just do 1 squirt and spread it around with your hands. That's my suggestion. Let me wash my hands. I'll be right back with you. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take I use the little spatula. We're going to take that little spatula and we're just going to pour a little bit. Stir it up again. It's starting to melt. So we're just going to pour a little bit like that on there. And then we're just going to, oh, there's a pineapple seed. Take that out. I don't like the seeds. And we're just going to spread it out. And you want it kind of thin. And as close to the same thickness all the way through. So you kind of get your shape however you want to do it. Some people do them round, others do square, rectangle, whatever shape you want. I mean, unless you have a round disc, and then obviously you're probably going to fill the disc. This doesn't have sides on it, so I have to kind of be careful how I do it. So there's that one. We'll move these trays. I'm going to go back at that, but I'm going to let it settle for a little bit, and then we'll just do this one. Like I said, I don't measure. I'm used to doing it, so I know how much my trays will take. But I would imagine that's probably a cup or a little more. But if you do it yourself, you can kind of see the way. And there's so many videos out there. I just decided I was going to make some to take with me because I've eaten most of what I've already prepared. So I thought I would show you how I make some of my dehydrated stuff. I've made a lot of my own meals, which my husband's going to drop off to me. Um, I did just look up, and this is just an FYI while I'm preparing this. I did look up about sending boxes, and if you do the flat rate boxes, um, and I did it from my house to Georgia. I live on the New England coast, so because I live in New York, so it's not far to send my boxes anywhere really. Guess I am gonna get 4 out of that. That's kind of cool. And so the flat rate box wasn't that expensive. I think when I looked on the U.S. postal site, it was like $26 to send a box to Georgia from here. So not that I'm sending it to Georgia. I'm driving um, to Amicalola, and my husband and I are going to stay in the lodge for 2 nights. So yeah, I'm having a little anxiety here and there now that I'm retired and things are coming together. Like all of my finances and stuff are all coming together, and um, it's so cool. But I am nervous. I can imagine what it's going to be like when my husband actually drops me off. I mean, we're going to stay at Amicalola for a couple nights together, and we're going to do the part of the approach trail, at least the stairs to the top of the falls together, um, without my backpack. We're just going to walk up, um, and then he's going to take me to. Well, I'm not sure. I am not sure if I'm going to have him take me to Springer, or if I'm just going to walk from the lodge. Start out right from the lodge, because then I don't have to walk back. So if I go to Springer, then I got to walk a mile up to the southern terminus. But if I walk from the lodge, I believe I can just walk right to the terminus and then keep walking on northbound, which I think is the way in my head I'm going to do it. But we'll see how it happens. He might want to hike into the top also of Springer. So there's a chunk, and I usually take those out only because it takes longer to dry, and you want everything to dry the same. So if there's a chunk left in there that didn't get, I usually take that out. And you can take these seeds out. It's the nature of pineapple. There really isn't much you can do. So there we go. So now, where'd my cup go? Right there. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to shake them a little bit. And we'll start out with the ones that we did earlier, the first ones. And I just kind of just tap it. To shake some of the pineapple around. Just to make it flatter. It really doesn't matter. Ah! You see that spray all over the place? That's a little liquidy. Just make sure your hands are clean. If I was doing this for other people, I would probably be putting gloves on, because you don't want to. You can tell it's really melting now, the frozen strawberry or frozen pineapple. So there's no exact science. Just try to get it all as even as you can. And then we're going to put them in the dehydrator. All right, let's get them in the dehydrator. All right, so here we go. We're going to put them in. and I space them out. I have enough room to do 7 trays in here. I think I have 7. Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. But I don't necessarily need. I like to have enough air in between. This one looks thick, but we'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes out. It might taste really good. And sometimes I have to, if I don't get them the same, sometimes I have to take a couple out and then I'll just run the ones that aren't quite done a little bit longer and go from there. I've never had any truly bad so I think we're going to take this one on the bottom. These two are thinner, so I'm going to put them a little closer together. And those two are a little bit thicker. So there. So we got it in there, and we're going to put it down. And I'll put the ingredients and the time and temperatures that I use down in the description. But so I have on my instructions, and this is what I was telling you about chips. If you want it to be a little crispier so that it's like a chip, like you stick it in your mouth and it kind of melts a little bit, it's not quite as chewy. I do that at 155 degrees for 10 hours. If you want it more like a leather, it's 135 degrees for 10 hours. So we're going to start out with the leather because I do like to be able to roll it. So we're going to do 135 degrees for 10 hours. And shut this. And we want time and temp. And we're going to go down. Whoop, up 135. I don't know how. And it's already set for 10 hours. So we're good to go. And it's on keep warm. So that means, so 10 hours, it's noon now. So it'll be done about 10 o'clock tonight. Or so, 9, 10 o'clock tonight. And then we'll go back to the video and we'll pull it out and see what it's like. We'll be back. Hey everyone. So we're going to do part 2 of the fruit leather. It is just about done. It actually is done because I already checked it. So let's come on. We're going to check it out. So this is how it looks. Some of these pieces are a little thicker than some of the others, but we're going to take them out because they're practically done. And these are the thicker too. If you remember or go back to the video, these two were the thicker of the two, and they look really good. There are still some chunks in it, but it's a really good consistency. And as it cools, it'll even be better. You can see, like on this one, the different, I don't know if you can see it very well, but you can see the difference in the thickness of it. But it really doesn't make a difference. It really does all taste really good. Turn that off. So we have all 4 trays out. This has got a little bit of a shiny look to it here. But again, if you peel it up, it looks really good and it feels really good. I can't wait to taste it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it on this piece of parchment paper once we get it off of here. And like I said, we use the oil so it peels right off really good. And we're going to lay it on here. And then we're just going to take the pizza cutter and we're just going to cut strips. You can use scissors for this too. You don't have to just use a pizza cutter. However you want to cut it. And if you remember in the when we were making it, I said to you, you could leave this in longer and it would be like chips rather than fruit leather. The longer you leave it in, the harder it gets. And sometimes even the edges are kind of chip-like, but these actually didn't turn out that way. These turned out really good. I'm going to try these. Want to try a piece, Jack? My daughter's here. She's over there. Want to try a piece? Oh, it's very good. So then, yep, this is kind of more crunchy. And then I'm just going to fold it up and put it in the bag. And I put a couple in the bag. Just like that. Roll it up. Hmm? Yeah. Yeah. I did that before, but I'm just going to do it this way this time so it's not so messy. They may even stick together. I don't know. I've before what my daughter was saying before, I used to cut the parchment paper and then I'd roll it in the parchment paper, which is it really works really well that way also. But it's not really necessary. You could do it however you want. Like I said, you can watch many videos on people making this stuff, and everybody does it a little bit different. I tried to make it a little simpler this time. And this stuff lasts forever. I have some that are in my resupply boxes that I made in 2022, I think it is. I'd have to look at it again, but it's the mixed berry. It's the only thing I had left. Everybody liked the pineapple. They're all good. The pineapple, the mixed berry, the strawberry banana. That was a good one too. Strawberry banana was a hit too. Like I said, the only thing I had left was the mixed berry. So yeah, it's pretty simple. And if I see you on trail and you want to try some, I'd be more than glad to share if I have any left. I think it's this pizza cutter. I keep getting drops of water on my... Oh, gonna have to eat that piece. You can see the thinness of that one. But it's it definitely didn't over dry. So there you have it. Homemade fruit roll-ups or fruit leather. We'll see how much of this I have left when it comes March. But again, I have plenty of stuff because I only used, like you saw, I only used half of that bag of pineapple. So, and I have a whole bag of frozen berries. I don't have any strawberry banana, but maybe I'll get some. Oh, this one's kind of crunchy. But it's good. Even if it's a little chippy like, it's really good. And that's only because the pieces were a little thin. So it was just shy of 10 hours. I think I had 25 minutes left on the dehydrator. And there it is. And I'll leave the recipe down in the description. So if you decide you want to try it, you can use my recipe. Thanks for joining me. Like and subscribe. A different kind that you'd like to see me try, let me know. Or any other kind of dehydrated stuff. Like I said, I've done my own spaghetti. I've done my own chili. I've done my own shepherd's pie. I did macaroni and cheese. And those are all in the resupply boxes. If you go back and you look, you can see where I packaged up some of those. But if you'd like to see me actually make some of that, that's a real easy process, because a lot of times when I do those dinners, it's after it's after we've eaten. And then I just take what's left in the crock pot or what's left in the pan or whatever, and then I stick it in, I put it on these sheets, and I stick it in my dehydrator. And then I package it all up in the to-go bags there that I have, the foil bags, the Mylar bags. And then I put I think I just got pineapple in my hair. The oxygen absorbers in there. So anyway, that's it for the fruit leather section of this day. And hope to see you soon.